Hey everybody, it's great to see you as always. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope that you are doing well. So I have posted a couple videos now with a topic about magic in music. And in those two videos, I referenced a magic that can happen collectively between musicians that is shared. It's kind of a miracle, serendipitous moment that happens either on stage or in the studio. And you can check those out if you want, though they're not necessary to continue with this. But today I would like to talk about a different kind of magic in music, and that has to do with the magic that can happen in purchasing an instrument. So this happened recently to my eldest son, who's an adult and has decided that he wants to start playing guitar again. He also decided that he was going to purchase his own first guitar. I mean, he had one when he was a kid that we got him at Christmas time, a 3/4 inch Fender Squier. But now he wanted to be able to purchase his own guitar. And it was a wonderful experience. It really was magical, the way that it played out for him. And I thought about sharing that with you all, but this video would be way too long. So just know that it was a really cool thing to see how he was able to get his first guitar. Now, I am a drummer first and foremost. That's my main instrument. But some people may not know that I have been playing guitar for over 20 years. Now, that may sound impressive to some, but that would be until you hear me play. In all seriousness, I know basic chords. I know how to play rhythm. I enjoy doing that in the studio. I enjoy doing that even performing on occasion. I'm not a lead player by any stretch of the means. I'm okay. But something happened when my son got his guitar. I got gas. Musicians affectionately know this as gear acquisition syndrome or gear addiction syndrome. And either, whatever the case, I got the bug and I started looking at guitars. It wasn't too long ago when I watched a video from a good friend of mine, one of my favorite guitarists and a college buddy of mine by the name of Rick Musallam. And Rick was talking in this recent video about how he has been playing Les Pauls for a while now and finds them to be extremely versatile. I thought that was kind of surprising to me because I've always understood Gibson Les Pauls as being more of a rock guitar. And not that there's anything wrong with that, it is what it is. So I thought I would start there. I looked into Gibson. Now I know of Gibson, right? I've never owned a Les Paul or any kind of Les Paul copy. I've never owned a Gibson guitar. I do know that they are an OG manufacturer of guitars dating way back, and of some of the very first electrical guitars ever made. They've always had an impressive list of artists, musicians who play them. I have also heard over the years that Gibson has had some serious issues with quality control, and a number of years ago, they got a new CEO who's evidently doing his best to right the ship, to put them back on track, and that's heartening. Word has it lately that the guitars that have been shipping have been very good quality, and they have returned to their roots, so to speak. I thought I'd start looking at Epiphone Les Pauls, which right now, my understanding is that they are mostly being made in China. They are far less expensive than Gibson Les Pauls, which, again, from my understanding, are made in Nashville, Tennessee. it is alluring for me to purchase something in the States. So I also, looked at them, and but the thing, Gibson Les Pauls are very expensive and way out of my budget. So I looked at some used ones, and they're keeping their value. That was actually pretty heartening to see as well. They're keeping their value, and please notice that I said I looked. I looked at these guitars. I did not pick up any guitars and play them because I know myself too well, and that if I pick up a guitar and it speaks to me, then I'm going to purchase it. So, best not to tempt fate. Wasn't really totally serious about buying anything at this point, just exploring. But as we'll soon find out, it escalated. When I was looking at guitars, and when I think of Les Pauls, the first one that comes to mind for me is the Heritage Cherry Sunburst color, mainly because Ace Frehley played one in Kiss, and I grew up with that. So I saw him playing it a lot, and I just always thought that was really cool. But I didn't like it enough to pull the trigger on it. I literally saw hundreds of different kinds of Les Pauls. Whether it was in the shops, when my son was trying some out, or even looking at some online, But quite honestly, even though there were some nice ones and some beautiful guitars, just none that really spoke to me. So at this point, I'm thinking, I probably am going to be at peace with just walking away from this whole thing, and not buying anything, and just being happy and content with what I have. So my son and I were at a pub and having a couple drinks, and he was asking me about the guitar hunt and where I was in it all. And I brought him up to date. And then, so here's where some of the magic starts to happen now. I distinctly remember us having a discussion about this, and I said something along the lines of this. I said, out of all the beautiful colors that they make and everything, none of them are just really jumping out at me. But if they had a dark purple burst, that would probably be the perfect guitar for me. There is something about the color combination of black and dark purple that has just always done it for me. But the thing is, they didn't make any. They don't make any. The next morning, I woke up, I grabbed a cup of coffee, I sat down in front of my computer, and went to YouTube, and lo and behold, there on my feed was a relatively new video from someone mentioning that Gibson is revealing a new dark purple burst to some of the guitars in their lineup. And I was like, oh man. So I was like, are you kidding? So I click on the link, and it brings me to one of the Les Pauls in this finish. And I looked at it, and I just said out loud, oh shit. It is what I envisioned. It was what I was thinking, and here it was the very next morning on my screen, and it was just gorgeous, and I knew when I saw it I had to have it. There's just a couple problems though. The first is that it is an exclusive Gibson guitar. Now, I wanted to purchase the Les Paul standard 60s version of it, and they didn't have any in stock. And so that was the first problem. And the second was that exclusive to Gibson also means that you can't buy this in stores. You can't go to retail shops and buy it. You have to purchase it directly from them, and it is full price. And I just couldn't afford it. It definitely was out of my budget. A couple days go by, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and send Gibson a note, just out of curiosity's sake, just to see how often these guitars are replenished in stock. And maybe, you know, if it was going to be down the road or something, I could figure out a way of financing it somehow. And they sent me an email back that same day, which speaks highly of them, basically telling me that they unfortunately couldn't give me any lead times on when stock would be replenished, but you can sign up to get notified the moment that they are back in stock. So I went ahead and did that. And then another couple days went by, and without getting into too much information on this, let's just say that I was surprised to find out that I was able to finance this guitar, and by finance I mean afford it, without having to go into debt, without getting divorced, without selling my eldest son. It was just really weird how all of a sudden that came to be. The very next day, I get an email from Gibson saying, "Your guitar is back in stock. You better act now." I was like, man, so what are the chances of all this happening, right? Everything seriously lined up for me to get this guitar. It was a small miracle. So I decided to take that as a sign, and I purchased it. All right, as promised, I purchased it and it arrived today, and I thought it would be fun to share the moment with you in an unboxing. This is not going to be a playing video, so I'm not going to play afterward, but really just to let you in on the excitement of what this thing looks like. Here's the thing about purchasing in this fashion, and I'm actually a bit nervous, is when you purchase an exclusive guitar from Gibson, you get a picture of a guitar, not necessarily the guitar. And I am not used to spending this amount of money and not being able to actually play the instrument first, or to be able to look at it. I have no idea what to expect on this front. So we'll see how it goes. So why don't we open it up and we'll take a look. You can shift that camera if you need to. My eldest, the guitarist himself, is helping with the camera here. So if you need to switch, you can. I'm going to move back. Are you good? All right, case looks like she's in good shape. Again, first Gibson that I have ever owned. I'm not exactly sure. Yep, I think that's it. All right, here we go. The moment of truth. Ooh. That is gorgeous. I have heard about the smell of opening up a case for the very first time. Dang, look at that. I just realized that my mic had dropped down. I don't know how much you heard about that or heard of that, but wow, that is just gorgeous. It's really got some nice grain pattern in that. Dang. So I'll have to pull it out. And again, this is the 1960s model. I went with this version over the 50s for a couple of different reasons. I don't really have any fancy flame top guitars, and I decided that I was going to go ahead, if I was going to spend the money, to get something that was this is a AA quality. Also, I wanted a little hotter pickups, since most of the stuff I play is rock anyways. The pickups are evidently a little bit hotter. So that's really the main two reasons. And I think I like these tuners a little bit better. So there you have it. That's what she looks like. I thought I'd go ahead also too and look in the case itself. It's a nice case. To see what goodies we have. It's the first time I've purchased a guitar and got a guitar strap, so that's kind of cool. And looks like the owner's manual and maybe a cable. Warranty info. And this would be drugs. No, not drugs. These just for humidity, I'm guessing. And I'm gonna probably guess this is all just guitar parts. But anyways, that's what's in the case. But I hope that I have a video for you very soon with me actually either playing this or having a recording of it. But it really is a beautiful guitar. So thanks for tuning in, y'all. Until next time, light and love to y'all. Bye.